The first thing that my father would always say is, love and believe in what you do. And then give 200%.
My grandfather saw things that people did not see.
And would figure things out. He would take anything complex and simplify it.
He broke everything down to common sense.
And then he built an empire based upon common sense.
We all know his story that he didn't finish, what was it, maybe 9th grade, and but it's his common sense and his instinct that made him who he was.
He listened, he learned.
In fact, Nate Benderson would walk in the front door of Bennett High School, only to walk out the back and meet his truant officer for breakfast. Still, he had those natural talents, that business instinct that would serve him well all his life.
He had a lot of foresight.
My father got in the real estate business through his other business, the bottle business.
I got my start by buying the bottles from the breweries and selling them to the soft drink bottlers.
But then he saw that you could do better renting than you could trying to operate a facility.
And a lot of the banks or bankers thought that I was going over my head and expected me to fold up.
He would eventually silence his critics.
My father could see something and see its fullest potential before almost anyone I knew could.
He saw it 20, 30 years from now, where most people saw it as it is today.
And he was self-taught. He was, and as time went on, he got better and better to do different types of deals.
How he did the deals, or on the back of a napkin or on the back of an envelope, and he had that knack.
And basically, all he does is say, how much do I got to put into it? How much do I stand to get out of it? What's the worst that can happen to me if it goes bad, and what's my upside potential?
I would say the biggest thing he taught me was, not only in business but in life, there is no black and white. It's gray, and unless you can deal in the gray, you're not going to make it.
He was a teacher at heart. He was the best teacher out there.
Teaching and leading and motivating, they're just part of them.
The juice would have to be worth the squeeze. And he would measure it, probably everything he'd measure that way.
Life's lesson plan that helped family members realize their dreams, whether it was building a brand of successful car washes.
Did he encourage me? Yeah. Because he knew it, I did my homework and I showed him where I was going, and he signed on, I believe it was a $40,000 loan.
Or plazas.
The amount of different national retailers my father was able to bring to this community that are here now for the long term. And
from everything to see if the trash cans are overfull, the lights are on during the day, to checking if tenants, what tenants were there, ideas of who we could put into the spaces that weren't leased, and he was, just spending time with them. That's really how I learned the most.
We did some of the early outlets, and our first one was in Niagara Falls, and we always believed, my father always believed that no matter what something was, you could always, if it wasn't successful, you could make it successful.
All the while transforming major thoroughfares and communities.
When he moved down to Sarasota, areas that were nothing, he purchased, and with the thought that would be the center of Sarasota in years to come, and he was 100% right.
Yes, there are projects like what the Donovan Building's going to be that is really kind of a rebirth of an area that so desperately needed it.
And we're hoping that what we're doing with the Donovan Building and the Start to Canal side, that becomes a foundation for much more to be built off of.
My grandfather and the rest of the family feel so strongly about this area, Buffalo, and you know, it's our home. It's been our home for a long time, and there are absolutely certain projects that take on a bigger meaning for us.
Bigger than even his biggest development projects was his commitment to the community that Nate felt gave him so much.
But what's interesting to us is, since my father passed away in April, we've learned so many things that he's done for others that we didn't know.
It's just a reminder of just how important my dad was in this community.
From looking after the young to the young at heart, Nate Benderson was very much an integral part of providing a means to care for the most helpless among us and ensuring organizations are sustained and grow to serve the community's needs.
My father would say his greatest successes were all on the philanthropic side. And business was a means to get there.
And we care so much about not only the developments but the community and being a significant part of the community.
I think he's left a very high standard, set a high standard in terms of being involved and becoming a leader.
That every little bit counts in everything you do.
My father loved the journey.
At the end of the journey, he would always do the right thing.
I would say my father's would say his greatest real estate success was not about a property he developed. It was I think he was very proud of his children and his grandchildren and the knowledge he gave them of real estate.
And to have the opportunity to work hand in hand with my grandfather and my dad is amazing.
My grandfather, there's no one like him. He's irreplaceable.
As a pioneer in the shopping center industry and with a lifetime devotion to philanthropy, Nate Benderson was a pivotal force in Western New York and beyond.
I just hope they carry on and do the things that I've done and keep doing it.